Hello, soul family. How are y'all doing today? I made a recent video talking about how to get over someone who hurt you, broke your heart, who has left you, or who is currently still hanging around in your life, causing you disease, causing you disease, harm, and they're just not serving you anymore and they're harming you. So first of all, when you get time for yourself, take a moment and release any energy that is not serving you through meditation, through stretching, any kind of ritualistic mantra, or just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just a mindful release of energy. Now, something that helps me is I will stretch first thing in the morning or during the day. I will bring up a subject that is causing me pain, harm, that is not easy to think about, that hasn't fully been processed. I will let that thought sit in my brain. I will feel the pain in my body and my heart, and I will stretch through the pain. In the meantime, I intentionally release the negative, painful energy. And you can do that through a mantra. You can say out loud, I release any energy not serving me and I return it back to its rightful owner. Shout out to Infinite Waters. Sup? He taught me that saying to kind of clear your energetic space and fields, and repeat that a couple of times. So out loud, just release that energy and say, I release any energy not serving me and I return it back to its rightful owner. What I like to do is I like to return that energy back to source, back to God. That way it can be transmuted back into love, which is the source of everything. That's where we emanate from, just love. God is love, of course. And think about all of the time and energy you spend trying to make the relationship work, and ask yourself whether or not that person is mirroring or reciprocating that energy. Have you created a list of boundaries? Or do you have mental boundaries that have been vocalized? And even if they have not been vocalized, are you willing to vocalize them? And if you have, or you will, do you have confidence and faith and trust that this person will not cross your boundaries? You have to remember that your soul will attract the energy that it currently is. Your soul will attract energy that needs to teach you lessons. And when you embody self-love versus self-hatred, you will also attract someone who is in a place of self-love. Now, I like to recommend to people that they reprogram their mind through positive reinforcement. And by this, sorry, I keep playing with my hair. I'm looking at myself and I'm just like, anyway, I'll just put it out of the way. So positive reinforcement in the sense that you discipline the negative thoughts coming across your mind. If you have a thought about how you dislike your body, tell that thought the opposite and say, no, actually, I love my body. And anytime you have a negative thought, discipline that thought like it's a child. Turn it into a positive one. It changed my life. It helped me a lot. I had my heart pretty terribly broken years back. The first thing I did was I went outdoors. I found a quiet space where I felt safe and comfortable, sitting by a tree. And I talked to that tree as if it were my friend, and I actually became friends with the tree. So in doing that, you're talking to a tree. However, in reality, you're talking to the universe, you're talking to God, you're talking to yourself. And what I had to do was get to know myself, make friends with myself. I just confronted my shadow, and I fell in love with my shadow. This is tough because sometimes you fall in love with yourself, but not all of yourself, and then your shadows start to creep back up and you're not in the same place, and it's just a constant project to love yourself and work on yourself and be with yourself. Work with yourself. Talk to yourself, get to know yourself. Become your own best friend. Treat yourself the way you want to be treated by your significant other. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute. Treat yourself the way you would like to be treated by your significant other. Embody the energy in which you would like to receive. If someone is going days without texting you, do they really want to talk to you? You know for certain that you would not go days without talking to the person you love. And if they are doing that to you, that implies a lack of love. Realize that people come into your life. Now, everyone can either be a lesson, a blessing, sometimes both. Usually both, depending on how you look at the situation. But everyone you encounter teaches you a lesson. Whether you ask for it or not, your soul knows exactly what lessons you need to learn to ascend on your soul journey. When you came to Earth, you don't remember this, but you chose certain outcomes for yourself. You chose your soul journey. Lessons come in unexpected ways. And sometimes people have to hurt us in order for us to fix ourselves. Realize that you are worthy of all of the love in the world. And you know how I know that? Because the source of all things, God, if you will, is love. We come from source. We are no separate. We are not separate from source. Another way I found getting over a man or woman, if you're getting over an ex-partner, is I drew a very large boundary with myself, thanks to biblical teachings. Whether you're a Christian or not, this will still help you. So I went to a jewelry store and I put a purity ring on my finger, and I told myself that the next person I'm with, if he does not wait, if he does not respect this boundary, if he does not wait until we are fully married and bound to one another, then he is not the person for me. You don't have to vocalize all of these things, especially not on the first date. But typically when your soul aligns with somebody, they will share similar boundaries as you, if not all of them. Just realize that the right person for you is going to respect you, care about the boundaries you have in place, it's important to love yourself first before you allow someone else into your life. That way you're not entering a relationship in a state of lack. Truly, you are the only one who can fill up your cup full of needs and desires. A significant other can't force you to go on that retreat. A significant other can't force you to work out in the morning. Or anytime, 3 times a week. They can't force you to do that. It comes down to it. You are in control of yourself, and you are the determiner of whether or not you receive love. So give it to yourself. I love y'all. Cheers. Thank you for listening, and let me know if you have any other suggestions on how to move on from someone who is hurting you, and realize that your soul, your intuition knows whether or not they're the right person for you before your conscious mind is aware. So think about how that person is making you feel on a daily basis and go from there. I love y'all. Take it easy.